I crouched low, katana in hand, letting the clones take the lead. The tunnel twisted and narrowed, the air thick with moisture, shadows stretching unnaturally along the walls. Sparks of steel glinted where Obsidian's Nagamaki met metal braces embedded in the floor as he carefully pushed forward, his strikes clearing potential hazards for the rest of us. Around a bend, the glint of a chest caught my eye. I gestured, and Obsidian halted, his massive blade resting across his shoulder. Bamboo and Crimson kept watch, scanning for more traps as I approached the chest. The lock popped easily under my touch. Inside, lightning arced faintly across a Kayaketsu Shogue, its cord humming with electric energy. Beside it lay a gravity-inducing Manriki Kasari, a chain weapon that seemed to bend the air around it, pulling nearby objects subtly toward its links. I carefully added the loot to my inventory. The aura from the weapons pulsed faintly, and I could already feel the tactical potential, chaining enemies with gravity, striking from a distance with electric precision. Obsidian shifted behind me, the weight of his Nagamaki reminding me that even my shadow clones had limits, and that every environment could still kill them if I wasn't careful. Chip damage from the traps had reminded me of that. I tightened my grip on my katana, whispering a command through the Oni mask. "Stay sharp. There's more ahead." With a low rumble, the tunnel beckoned further inward, promising more loot, more traps, and challenges that would test not just my clones, but my own skill in the shadows. I sheathed my katana and drew the mystic flute from my inventory, the low hum vibrating faintly in the damp tunnel air. With a flick of my wrist, I unsummoned Obsidian, Crimson, and Bamboo. They vanished into shards of black light, leaving me alone in the narrowing passage, the rain-drenched bamboo courtyard far behind. Ahead, the tunnel widened into a cavern-like chamber, the walls lined with jagged stone and faint etchings glowing in copper tones. I froze. Movement, deliberate and heavy, echoed against the walls. The tunnel grew wider, torches flickering against the damp stone walls. The copper samurai stood ahead, massive, armored in dull gleaming copper, twin Masakari resting at his sides like instruments of judgment. I didn't summon anyone this time. I didn't need to. My shadow clone samurai were already waiting in the shadows of the tunnel, armed with stock weapons and armor, their silhouettes just beyond the glow of the torches. All I had to do was give the signal. "Go," I whispered. They surged forward, weapons raised. The copper samurai reacted instantly, Masakari flashing in brutal arcs. My clones met him head-on, blades ringing against the heavy axes, parries and counters flashing like sparks in the dark. Their coordination gave me the space I needed. I raised my gauntlet, projectiles charging with a faint hum, and fired. The first volley of glowing bolts peppered his armor, leaving shallow dents, draining his health bar by chip damage. Another shot at his exposed side, another burst at his helmet. Little by little, the bar dipped. The copper samurai roared, staggering back under the combined assault. My clones kept pressing, slashing at his legs, locking his axes down with joint strikes. I maintained steady fire from mid-range, the gauntlet lighting the tunnel with every pulse. For a moment, it almost looked easy. I motioned for my shadow clones to disengage. I crouched, letting my katana rest lightly in my hands, breathing through the Oni mask's bloodlust haze. I rushed in. The first swing came, wide and sweeping, one Masakari cleaving the air mere inches above my head. Sparks erupted as I parried, the steel ringing sharp in my ears. He pressed forward, spinning, axes colliding in a synchronized rhythm, the sound echoing like thunder in a confined space. I stepped back, letting him overextend. Each strike I dodged left him momentarily unbalanced, and I jabbed at exposed joints, the neck guard, the elbows, the knees, chipping away at his health bar with precise cuts. The Masakari were brutal, swinging in arcs that could crush both bone and armor, but careful timing kept me just beyond their reach. A miscalculated counter swing sent dust scattering across the floor. I leapt to the side, rolling behind a natural stone outcrop as he followed, axes smashing against the wall with deafening clangs. My katana hummed as I prepared for the next exchange. Phase 2 triggered without fanfare. His eyes flared brighter, a metallic hiss from the armor as it tightened around him. He moved faster now, swinging both Masakari in a deadly double helix. I ducked and rolled, feeling the wind from his strikes slice past my shoulders. Every attack was heavier, every misstep punishing. I slashed high, then low, driving him toward the far wall. Sparks flew where my blade met the edge of one Masakari. I saw an opening, a stagger as one of his swings clipped the stone floor, sending vibrations up through the cavern. I lunged forward, katana cutting diagonally across his torso. A chunk of copper plating flew, health bar dipping further. He roared, spinning both axes in a fury. I felt the Oni mask pulse, urging me on, bloodlust and precision entwined. I ducked, rolled, and stabbed into the exposed flank of his armor. Another stagger. The tunnel trembled with each of his heavy steps. I realized I could manipulate the space, use the walls and natural traps, pushing him into corners where his swings would miss. Chip damage started to stack, a calculated dance of attack and retreat. Sweat stung my eyes, rain from the courtyard dripping down through the tunnel's fissures. One wrong move could end this run, and maybe my character, but the thrill pushed me forward. Each strike, each dodge, every heartbeat was a razor-edge balance between life and death. I motioned for my shadow clones to re-engage. Then came phase 3. His armor glowed molten copper, regeneration kicking in, and his swings became devastating. One wide arc nearly shattered a clone instantly. Another brutal slam into the stone floor crushed the second. The two fought valiantly, blades flashing, but a spinning sweep of his twin Masakari destroyed them both in the same motion. The tunnel fell silent except for the dripping of water and his heavy, metallic breathing. His health bar still clung above 15%. My own chest tightened. It was almost too late. I shifted my strategy. I raised my Yumi, arrows knocked with precision, and started pelting him from the far end of the tunnel. Each shot rang true, chipping him steadily. He roared and marched toward me, every step landing with a thundering echo. I had planned for this. Caltrops gleamed faintly across the tunnel floor. He stomped forward blindly, each step grinding into them, slowing his advance. Every movement cost him health, chip damage that stacked with every arrow I fired. His stride faltered, his swings grew sluggish, his health bar dropping to red. One last arrow flew, piercing through the gap in his shoulder plate. The copper samurai stumbled forward, took one final step onto the caltrops, and collapsed with a metallic groan that echoed through the tunnel. His health bar hit 0. Loot drop. Copper samurai defeated. Copper samurai armor, plus 5% defense, plus 5% melee attack, intimidation aura. Twin Masakari, high impact axes, bonus chip damage. Molten resin upgrade, extended burn duration. Tier 3 environmental trap upgrade, elemental integration unlocked. Stat points 100 points. I collected the loot, the Oni mask pulsing faintly as if approving. The Masakari were heavier than I expected, the copper armor almost humming with residual energy. The clones had been wiped out, but chip damage, planning, and patience had won the day. And the tunnel stretched deeper, promising more battles. More loot.